Is there a lens through which surveyors can look at differentiating themselves? I mean, obviously there has to be an authenticity to the way that you're putting yourself forward, right? It can't just be different for the sake of being different. But how do you see your customers successfully differentiate themselves from those 6 bullets that most people have on their side?
Yeah, I think it's where they go into a bit more depth about what that actually means in reality. So we're local. So what, the local cafes or the pubs, or does that mean the geology, materials, the build methods, and therefore you're quicker at and more accurate at diagnosing the type of problems that are in that house? So yeah, it's adding the detail to the sort of generic point that makes it more useful. So yeah, extra things like drone surveys can be useful, but again, what does that mean? So it means finally get a better look at the roof, so you're less likely to find an issue with it once you've moved in that we can't otherwise pick up on. So I think it's sometimes just not going far enough with explaining why that's a benefit. So it's a feature list without actually explaining the value behind it.
Absolutely. Jemma, I'm assuming you mentioned someone that had a very high conversion rate. You have to obviously mention them by name, but I'm assuming that kind of
referral only
resonate. Oh, really? Okay.
He's actually referral only, yes. He wasn't when we started out. Obviously, he started out same as every other company that we've launched from scratch, lead generation. But eventually he covers a specific smaller area that is local to him. And he is a prime example of how you tackle your local market to a T. Like, he has gone around, met all the agents, made the most of every single time he has gone to collect keys. Matt rightly said, you're going to collect keys or you're meeting the vendor at the property. Every single chance you do that, every single time you do that, that's a chance to make a mark. That's a chance for a conversation. One of the biggest problems we've had with some of our clients, I did a post about this a while ago. We're quite picky with the fact that there's 2 rules that everyone has got to follow. Turn up on time, be polite. 3, and issue your reports on time. And those are the 3 biggest things. So if someone doesn't follow these, we don't work with them. And the reason being is, for them to move to a referral, you want to have the reviews. You want to have, obviously, show that agent, okay, this is why I'm better. Look at what my client's saying about me. Yes, you're a surveyor. In theory, you could break a sale if you find something, crucial that will make someone pull out. But really, that's what clients are paying for. And actually, agents will like the fact that they know who it is, they know their working standard, they know they'll do a good job, and if someone pulls out, there'll be someone else behind the corner. But to be able to actually move to that referral, it is a process. You do have to go out and meet the agents every time you collect keys. Follow it up. Lovely to meet you this morning. Can we go and grab a coffee at some point in time? It's simple. It's not actually that complex. But a lot of surveyors I find, and I mean, you guys may agree or disagree with me, brilliant surveyors are not necessarily people persons. So every person's different. It's a bit of a, it's not a rule at all. But, some people fall into surveying, because they like order. Their mind functions differently, not necessarily the most social being out there. So really, it's about how you reset that mindset and don't remain shy enough not to ask for a review.
Sometimes people get into surveying for the love of property and love of buildings and love of the process that they get into. Just quickly on that, describe the ripple effect of not kind of delivering reports on time and not, I suppose, adhering to your word, because you mentioned you've got these strict rules, which I think you've got a strike system, right? So you really do.
We have a strike system, and eventually, obviously, the thing is, our job as kind of there, as someone's support, is to ensure the conversion grows, to ensure any slot is filled, be that 4 slots or 8 slots a week, doesn't matter, and to obviously make sure that reviews are coming in and they're coming in as good reviews. That is obviously the key to then upping the conversion. So it kind of all ties into the next step. If you're sending out your report 10 days later than you should have, you can imagine that we're going to be called daily because if someone's on a tight deadline to buy that property, we're going to be called and they're going to be angry. Rightly so as well. The reason we put in this rule was, I don't personally believe I can sell something I don't believe in. So if I know that you're going to take 2 weeks plus to issue a report after the deadline's passed, I can't put a consumer in that position. It's just not right. I wouldn't do it to myself. I wouldn't want it done to myself. I wouldn't do it to them. So obviously that's when we kind of cut ties. But as a general rule of thumb is, you want to offer the best service you can possibly offer, and that is, that is on all sides, from your customer service to your report writing to your defect finding, and things have to be out on time. And if you do these things properly, you are likely going to get a very good review at the end of it. And the more reviews, the more you can then highlight these reviews and out in the conversations that you have with potential clients, saying we are the best rated locally, and you can prove it. You're not just, like Matt said earlier, but, you're not just putting, a USP in an email. You can actually say, here's a link, you can have a look for yourself. And that is what makes a difference.